Hey friends, how are you? Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I was in Half Price Books a few weeks ago with my daughters and they were picking out books that they wanted, and I always go by the romance section and see what books they have. For those of you outside of the US, Half Price Books is a brick and mortar store here in the US. I think it's all over the country. It's not a huge chain by any stretch because, geez, there's not many bookstores around these days, but it's exactly what you think it is. It's Half Price Books. It's a used bookstore and they have all the different genres you can imagine. The one that I have by me has albums as well and tapes. And then, you know, paper goods like bookmarks and journals and stuff like that. You can usually find the new titles, the new releases for a lot of books or bigger authors at mine. And I have actually brought books myself there. You can bring a bag of books and sell them to the store. Now, that being said, it's not like you're making back any money. If you're an avid reader of paperbacks, you'll get back a little bit and then you can spend it in the store. So I went with my daughters. They wanted to pick up some new books. They both have Kindles, but they like to have physical copies of books as well. So while they were off looking for their books, I went over to the romance section and I decided to look through to see if any of my friends, my author friends' books were there and if I wanted to buy any. I took a bunch of pictures. It was quite busy while we were there, so I was trying not to be, I was gonna actually video myself while I was there, but it was quite busy and I thought, people might not like that. Plus, I also, of course, had my mask on and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go as far as the audio. So I took pictures and I'll put them up on the screen so we can talk about it. So the first thing I did was I looked through to see if I had read any of the books on the shelves. It's quite a good section. It's probably, the shelves are probably 10 foot long by maybe 8 foot tall. So it was a pretty good section. So the first picture is a series I have read. It's the Crossfire series by Sylvia Day. I read it way back when I started reading romance. I think there's actually one more book that I need to read to complete the series. The series was complete when I read it, but I thought that was interesting because yes, of course I know who Sylvia Day is, and she had a bunch of books up there. This picture speaks for itself. It's the 50 Shades of Grey series. Yes, that is the first technically romance specific book that I read. In high school, I read a ton of Danielle Steele. My friends and I used to pass the books around. I'll get to it a little bit later. So if you consider her romance, and then I read a lot of chick lit, a lot of women's fiction, a lot of historical fiction for many, many years until the thing that was 50 Shades of Grey exploded. After I read 50 Shades, I loved it. I dabbled in a couple other books and then I was like, well, let me go back and see what else is around. And I read the Surrender series by Monica James and I was absolutely hooked. I could not believe that there were stories like that, not that I'm comparing the two, but there was romance stories about relationships. That's my favorite thing. Love stories are my favorite. So that's what started me on just specifically reading romance from then on. Here in this next picture, we have a couple different authors that stuck out to me, which was Maya Banks, Shayla Black, and Serena Bowen. I have not read Serena yet. She's on my list for sure. I think I've read one Shayla Black book. I have to look back. But I did read Maya Banks, and gosh, which one was it? I think it was something with ropes, the shinabi or whatever it's called, when they tie you up in the ropes and it's very erotic. Is that it? That I read forever ago. And then of course, this picture is Kate Stewart's Method. Seriously, like Kate has been on my to be read list forever, and now she just keeps releasing books, and I haven't even read one yet. I know, it's crazy. Who do I think I am that I haven't read Kate Stewart? Method is definitely on my to be read list. And here's one of my all-time favorites, Pepper Winters. This was the only book they had of hers. I'm looking down because I've got my phone right here so I can see. So I know what picture I'm showing you. I freaking love, love, love Pepper Winters. She was the first dark romance I had ever read. I read the Indebted series and then right away read, is it Tears of Tess? Whatever that series is. I like the Indebted series better than that. I've read a whole bunch of her books. I've not read everything. I'm not going to claim to be, you know, up to date on her, but oh, I love her. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, Jethro Hawk, wow, complicated man, holy smokes, and I love him. And if you've read that, you know what I'm talking about. Meredith Wild, again, who am I? A romance reader that hasn't read Meredith Wild yet. I want to. She's on my list. Give me your recommendations. Tell me where I should start with either Kate Stewart or with Meredith Wild, because I feel like they've got a bunch out there and I don't know where to start. So let me know in the comments below which books of theirs that you've read and where you think I should start, because oh my gosh, I haven't read the Bridge series by Meredith Wild. I want to. Jacinda Wilder is an author that had just come up in conversation before I went to Half Price Books, and I couldn't believe that actually one of her books was there. Again, it's not an author that I've read. I know of her, and I would love to get your recommendations on where I should start with her as well. And one of my favorites, the Misadventures series. I adore this series. 20 books or something. I'm not sure about the number. There's a whole bunch of them. I've read a few of them. I will put them down in the description box below so you can check those out. I love this series. I love all the different authors. I love that they're quick reads. I love that they've got great stories. They're all different. The Misadventure series is one of my favorites for sure. And then this last picture is, of course, Roses by Layla Meacham. I have read this book. This book is enormous. I had the hardcover, just like is shown here. I absolutely adored it. It's about a family. Oh my gosh, I read it so many years ago. It's about a family and they grow roses. But it's family drama, very family saga with all that you want from that kind of a book. I absolutely loved this book. So I would highly recommend it if you haven't and you like that kind of family saga, twists and turns, who do you trust, forbidden romance, you know, that kind of stuff. This is a great book. And just to be forewarned, it's also 610 pages long. It's really big, but I like big books. I would be remiss if I didn't end this video how I started with this video, which is talking about Danielle Steele. In the picture that I'm showing, holy smokes, she had almost a whole section, as you can see. There was so many of her books here. I almost bought one for nostalgia's sake. I started to go through the titles to see if there were books that I had read here that I could remember reading, and there was, which I was so excited about. I have read Star, I've read Fine Things, I've read Family Album, I read The Ghost. What else have I read? I'm just scrolling through the picture here. Kaleidoscope, totally remember reading that one. And I'm pretty sure I read Safe Harbor as well. But like I said, that was when I was in high school and after high school. I know that there's a bunch more that I have read, but that was a long time ago. So many of them. Let me know in the comment section below the last physical book that you have bought. Are you the type of person that likes to buy paperbacks? Or do you only buy paperbacks of your favorite books? Or do you not buy paperbacks at all anymore? Make sure you come over to my social media and say hi to me there. It's Kat Reads Romance on Facebook and Instagram. And I also have a group if you would like to come hang out with us. It's a nice mix of authors and bloggers and readers, and that's Kat's Romance Readers on Facebook. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon. Bye.